And we are live for our final game on field number 2 between Southern Union State and Shelton State, an elimination game in Division 1. Shelton State will throw out number 22, Elizabeth Brooks. That'll be their starting pitcher, as we have a leadoff base runner off an infield single by number 27, Morgan Martin. Shelton State coming off their victory against Coach LaSalle just moments ago, a 7-4 victory on the same exact field. This is the Butts' third time on field number 2. They are 1-1, trying to keep their season alive with a win here against Southern Union. As Albie swung on a miss, throw to first, and the tag is not going to be in time. But it will be a strikeout to number 1, Haley Williams. As Southern Union just came off of their victory against Northwest Shoals after a 9-7 victory back on field number 1. As this will be a ground ball to shorts and liner. Foots over to second for 1. Throw to first is not in time, but they will get the force out at second. 2 outs here in the top of the first. As we just got the lineups just moments ago, especially from Southern Union, Shelton State was awaiting their opponent. They were hoping that they possibly could have a rematch against Northwest Shoals, but they'll face off against Southern Union with a chance to make it to the semifinals tomorrow. Take a look at Elizabeth Brooks' numbers on the year. 7 wins, 4 losses on the circle this season. Over 22 appearances on the hill, and also 20 games started with 103 innings of work. As Albie swung on a miss for strike number 1 here to number 25, Jordan Douglas. So that one will miss outside. Take a look at Shelton State out on the field under head coach Caitlin Griffin. Trinity Wilkinson, number 33, will be behind plate. Lauren Coker will be at first. Caroline Helinski will be at second, as this is fouled over into the other field. Natalie Liner will be at short. Aspen Gerard will be at third base. In the outfield for Shelton State, they'll have Heather Maxwell in left, Elena Span in center, and Emma Harrison will be in right field. As this one's going to be fouled, and this will go over into the other field as well, over near the bleachers, as Douglas battles here for Southern Union. An elimination game once again. Shelton State lost their first game against Northwest Shoals 11-9, as that's fouled off again by Douglas. Came away with a victory against Coastal South, defeating the number 2 seed Coyotes after scoring all 7 of their runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And now trying to escape into the semifinals. That's another foul ball here by Douglas. Southern Union this season, 42 games played, 223 runs scored as a team, a 279 batting average, 365 on base percentage, 440 slugging percentage, and they have hit 34 home runs as a team. As the Bison are in their pinstripe uniforms, as that is another foul ball here from number 25, Jordan Douglas, who has 11 home runs and 34 RBIs, second on the team in home runs behind number 17, Morgan Martin, who is number 27 in this game. There'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Runner on first, swung on a miss. A strikeout for Elizabeth Brooks. As we head to the bottom of the first, no score between the Butts and Southern Union here on JockJive. Bottom of the first inning between Southern Union and Shelton State. As we take a look at the starting batting order for Shelton State. And this one, first pitch is a base hit up the middle for Emma Harrison. Taking no time in the batter's box, swings away on the first pitch, and she singles up the middle of the starting pitcher, number 27, Morgan Martin. Morgan Martin this year, dual threat player, leads the team in base hits with 63 on the year, and is a very good starting pitcher for Southern Union this season. 5 wins, 7 losses, 13 complete games. As that will be in for stride, stealing off for seconds, in and out the glove of the shortstop, Chelsea Hodgstead, who is not batting. She'll be the flex option. With a stolen base very early on here for Shelton State. Come away with a base hit of Emma Harrison. So the batting order for Shelton State, it'll be Emma Harrison, Heather Maxwell, Trinity Wilkinson, Harley Johnson, Aspen Gerard, Elena Spann, Lauren Coker, Natalie Liner, and finally Caroline Hedlinski. So that'll be in for a strike here for Morgan Martin. 19 games started this year during the regular season for Morgan Martin. Over 104 innings of work, 142 hits allowed, 94 earned runs. As this one's going to be sent over into left field, and coming over to make the catch, the left fielder Jordan Douglas, number 25 with the grab for out number 1. As it brings up number 33, Trinity Wilkinson. So Southern Union finished up about 15 minutes ago, and they're ready to go in this elimination game against their rival, Shelton State. 2 teams that were in the North Division last year are now in Division I play. Wilkinson with a couple of base hits so far through the first 2 games. As that'll be in for a strike. Harley Johnson is right behind her in the batting order as a designated player. Wilson leads the team in doubles during the regular season. 2 doubles so far in the postseason in 2 games. Had a very good game against Coach LaSalle as she fouls this one over into the other ballpark. Over to the right side, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll take a look at Southern Union out in the field. Haley Williams will be in right field. Julianne Loveborn will be the designated player. Jordan Douglas, who just made that catch, is in left field. As this one's going to be a base hit to center field. As they will send the runner home. The throw is going to be offline, and it will be an RBI double for Trinity Wilkinson, and it's 1-0 Shelton State. Exactly what Shelton State was looking for. We did a coin toss prior to the game, and Shelton State won, so they will be the home team. While Southern Union will be the road team here in this one. Bottom of the first, 1-0 lead here for Shelton State, as Harley Johnson lets that one go by. Third base will be Tania Gibbons, number 9. Behind the plate will be number 20, Anna Henson. Right field will be Grace Walker. Lexi Littleton will be at second. As this will be a ground ball right to the second baseman. Littleton flips over to first in time for out number 2. Wilkinson will advance to third. And it'll be 2 outs here after the 4-3 putout. And brings up Aspen Gerard, who was quiet in the last game versus Coach South. Had the big 2-run blast in the loss against Northwest Shoals yesterday afternoon. And now we'll step in with a runner on third with 2 outs. First pitch delivered here by Morgan Martin. Center field will be number 8, Erin Riley. And then Chelsea Hodgstead will be the flex player. She'll be playing at shortstop for Southern Union. So that one will go outside. So for Southern Union, they have their best hitter and pitcher batting leadoff. And on the circle for this pivotal game here on field number 2, elimination. So that one will be inside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike as Morgan Martin dealing here for the Bison. Shelton State with just 17 home runs as a team. Scored 201 runs during the regular season in 45 games. Had a batting average of .292 and .350 on base percentage. Runner on third here. Gerard with the pitch coming up. Line drive and right into the glove of the first baseman. For out number 3. We head to the second, 1-0 Bucks. Back here for the top of the second inning. And the first pitch will be fouled off from number 9, Tania Gibbons, playing at third base today for the Bison. Southern Union with just a very good offense, trying to produce and trying to overcome the 1-0 deficit they suffer so far here in the early stages of this elimination game. And this pitch is going to be a base hit to left field, and Gibbons with a leadoff signal to start it off here for the Bison. That will be the Bison's second hit, I believe. Morgan Martin, I believe, had a leadoff single. And then the next couple batters retired from the starting pitcher, Elizabeth Brutz. Dallas Renzi with you this afternoon. And the fourth and final game that we have on schedule today, we had to finish up the Wallace Hansville versus Northwest Shoals game that ended in the bottom of the fifth last night. Finished it up in 6 innings. Wallace Hansville 11-2 victory. They are in the winner's bracket game against Snead State over to my right on field number 1. So we'll keep track of that game as well. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Anna Henson, number 20. So that one will miss outside. Henson had 83 at-bats during the regular season. No home runs, 11 RBIs, 26 base hits, and 4 doubles on the year for the Bison. Grace Walker, number 26, the first baseman, is on deck. Comebacker, throw to first in time for the double play. Elizabeth Brooks with a quick reaction on the circle, fires to Lauren Coker, and that's 2 outs here in the top of the second. Yeah, brings up Grace Walker with the bases empty. Promising start to this inning for Southern Union. Foiled off the line drive. Could have been back-to-back base hits. But Givens was caught off of first base. And Grace Walker now will bat here with the bases empty with 2 outs. First pitch will be delivered in for a strike as Elizabeth Brooks taking no time on the circle to deliver strikes. Walker this season, 14 RBIs, as she will chop this one foul. The majority of the home runs are off the bat of Morgan Martin, who has 13 on the year, and Jordan Douglas with 11. Juliana Loveborn has 5 on the year, and Tania Gibbons with 4. And Coley Boone, who is not starting in this game as a sophomore outfielder, has 1 home run. The rest of the lineup's been able to get on base. So this one's going to go outside. Walker with 22 base hits and 2 doubles on the year. As Shelton State looking for back-to-back wins, so is Southern Union to keep their season alive. This one will sail outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes with, let's see, Littleton number 3 on deck. Take a look at the starting batting order for Southern Union. Morgan Martin, Haley Williams, and Julianne Loveborn to lead things off, as this one is fouled off against the fence. Jordan Douglas will be batting cleanup, followed by Tania Gibbons, Anna Henson, Grace Walker, Lexi Littleton, and then finally Aaron Riley. And like I said, Hodsett will be the shortstop as the flex player for Southern Union in this playoff game. Walker trying to keep the inning alive, and it just sails outside as Elizabeth Brooks is trying to get Grace Walker to chase after a pitch outside the strike zone. Unsuccessful there, and it's a full count here with 2 outs. And the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball here to Liner. Fires the first in time. Great job from Elizabeth Brooks in the infield for the Bucks as they head to the bottom of the second with a 1-0 lead here in this elimination game. Back here for the bottom of the second inning. Shelton State taking a 1-0 lead off an RBI double from Trinity Wilkinson. In the first inning, and excellent pitching from Elizabeth Brooks on the back end. Got a big double play in that top of the second, and now Shelton State will have a chance to extend the lead here as they'll have Elena Span, Lauren Coker, and Natalie Liner to lead things off here for Shelton State. Shelton State went 12-12 in the conference this year. So that'll be delivered in for a strike from Morgan Martin. 20-27 overall for the Bucks. While for Southern Union, they were the sixth and final team to make the Division I championship games here at Veterans Park in Alabaster. They went 13-30 overall, 8-15 in the conference, just edging out Calhoun Community College for the sixth and final spot. So Calhoun was the only team that did not make the tournament. But Southern Union, if they're able to come back and win this game, they will be in the semifinals in the third and final day of this tournament. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's been a fun tournament so far, as this one will be sent into left field, and it'll drop right in front of Jordan Douglas. Takes a wicked hop on her, as it will be a base hit to lead things off here for Elena Span, who had a couple of base hits in the win against Coastal South just a couple of minutes ago. So Span gets a base hit there. 3 base hits so far for Shelton State. Emma Harrison with a leadoff single. Trinity Wilkerson with an RBI double, and Elena Span with a single to left field. And looks like a pinch hitter is going to come in here for Shelton State for number 11, Lauren Coker. And that'll be Maddie Wallace, number 21, coming in for Lauren Coker. And she'll foul out the first pitch. Well, it's been a beautiful Friday. Started this morning at 9 o'clock and currently past 4:30. In our fourth and final game here on field number 2. Bunt here, but throw to first. This is going to go down that right field line, but it might have hit the base runner, Elena Span. But no harm, no foul there. It'll just be 1 ball and 1 strike here to Wallace, who's had a couple of pinch hit opportunities, but surprisingly seeing this very early on here in the bottom of the second. Safe at first is the call. 3 umpire crew for this crucial playoff game. And the 1-1 pitch. Bunted to the third baseman. She fires the second. The throw is in time. Tania Gibbons to Hodset for out number 1. We saw this 2 times in the Bishop State versus Bevel State game. It looks like we have an injured buck over at second base. That's Elena Span. It looks like it was an awkward turn at second. And a little bit of an awkward collision. Well late. Did not even slide into second. Kind of stood up and might have rolled her ankle or something. We'll take an injury timeout here on JockJive as they attend to the injured buck. Lance Spann has been taken to the dugout after her injury, as is fouled down the left field line. It'll be Natalie Weiner up next to bat after the fielder's choice to get the first out here in the bottom of the second. Good heads-up play there from Tania Givens to connect with her shortstop, Chelsea Hodstead. Weiner with just a couple of base hits so far through the first two playoff games. Caroline Hedlinski is on deck. That pitch will miss upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the bag order here for Shelton State. They've been very effective all postseason long and throughout the entirety of this season. Martin with the pitch. Bunt again down the left field line. It seems like all the previous games that we've had here on field number 2, the teams are playing the small ball, trying to move runners into scoring position. Sometimes it's paid off, and sometimes it's been very predictable for the defense to fire to second with plenty of time. Line drive, what a catch at third. Throw to first, in time for the double play. Tania Gibbons with a couple of outstanding defensive plays, makes the line drive catch, and then a quick reaction to first for the double play. And now we'll conclude the first 2 innings of this game as we head to the third. Shelton State with a 1-0 lead here on JockJive. First 2 innings in the books. A couple of nice double plays by both infields for both Southern Union and Shelton State. And it's just a 1-0 lead here. And it looks like Elena Spann, who was injured in the previous half inning, is now coming out into the outfield. So Spann goes back to center, and then Emma Harrison, who was standing over in center field, moves back to right. So good to see Spann return back into the game after that awkward collision at second. Did not even slide into second base. Possibly rolled her left ankle, which she needed some assistance getting into the dugout, but looks like it's just going to be a minor sprain or something. Ground ball, nicely played there by Liner, and a laser over to first base for out number 1. That'll be an out to Lexi Littleton as we go to number 8, Erin Riley for the Bison. Riley this year with 5 RBIs, 13 base hits, and 5 doubles. So that pitch will sail outside. Sophomore outfielder has played in 32 of the 42 games this season for Southern Union. This will be at bat number 62 on the year for her. After having 61 at bats during the regular season, a ground ball once again to Liner. They keep testing her, and she keeps on delivering outs over to first base. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the third. And we go back to the top of the batting order here with Morgan Martin. An infield single her last time up, and that was the only play Natalie Liner could not make. Diving attempt, and Morgan Martin's able to beat the throw at first. Martin will fly one to deep right field, hook in, and it's going to go off the wall and right. Martin with a double. She's thinking 3. The throw will not be in time. She's got herself a 2-out triple here in the top of the third for the Bison. Well hit ball. Martin come away with an extra base hit. Star player for Southern Union getting on base and now sets up Haley Williams. We had 16 RBIs during the regular season, 29 base hits, 3 doubles and 2 triples for Williams. For Martin, that will be her third triple of the year after having 2 during the regular season. That will be in for a strike. 252 batting average for Haley Williams. Morgan Martin has a 453 batting average. She's 2 for 2 in this game. Freshman pitcher / shortstop. Morgan Martin has been, as advertised this season, been one of the best players in Division I softball this season. Definitely will be rewarded with some kind of awards, either on the hill or her just phenomenal at-bats throughout the entirety of this season for the Bison. But Haley Williams trying to notch in the game time run here in the top of the third off of Elizabeth Brooks, number 22. Pickoff attempt at third will not be in time. It will be 3 balls and 1 strike here to Williams with Juliana Lavorne. It was Letzi Darnell who got the nod in the last game against Coastal South. Pitched 6 complete innings, earning herself the win, just allowing 4 earned runs. Elizabeth Brooks came in, or did not come into the last game, but we saw her over in the bullpen warming up as she watched Williams here with 2 outs. And brings up Julianne Lavorne. 5 home runs, 31 RBIs for Lavorne in her freshman season. A very young Southern Union lineup. Bright future for the Bison as she will swing on the first pitch. Ground ball here. Throw to first is not in time. And the Bison will tie it up at 1 apiece. As Lavorne able to beat the throw at first. Another strong throw from Natalie Liner at shortstop. Well, we are knotted up at 1 apiece. Everybody safe, and just like that, Southern Union ties it up. Big base hit right there. As it brings up Jordan Douglas. A dangerous hitter with 11 home runs on the year, and that first pitch misses downstairs. Martin leads the team with 63 base hits. Second on the team is Jordan Douglas with 37 during the regular season, with Lavorne with 32 on the year. And Douglas does not bite on the first 2 pitches she sees. Tania Gibbons with 22, Gracie Walker with 22 hits as well. As this will be a players' conference between Trinity Wilkinson and Elizabeth Brooks here in the top of the third inning. First time in this game that Elizabeth Brooks has had to deal with runners in scoring position. And all this coming with 2 outs in this inning. A triple for Morgan Martin, their leading hitter. Haley Williams with a walk. Julian Lavorne able to beat the throw at first, driving in Morgan Martin. And now Jordan Douglas bats here with runners at first and second. And the pitch is going to be ripped to right field. Drops in for a base hit over and right. Gets away from the right fielder, and Southern Union will take the lead. Here comes the second run, as it will be a 2-run double for Jordan Douglas into right field, and Southern Union scoring all 3 runs with 2 outs here in the third. Right at the feet of the right fielder, Emma Harrison did not get a clean look at it. Goes over into right field. And Southern Union has themselves a 3-1 lead here off another extra base hit with 2 outs. The 2 leading hitters for the Bison helping out their team with 2 outs. And now Tania Gibbons, who singled on her first plate appearance, will step up. What a response here by Southern Union here in the top of the third. Good pace of this game. And now, for the first time in this game, Shelton State will trail. That pitch will go outside to Gibbons with Anna Henson on deck. 1-1 the count. We started this inning out with bat-to-bat 6-3 putouts to Letzi Littleton and Aaron Riley. 3 to the last 4 batters with base hits against Elizabeth Brooks. A triple by Martin, a single by Julian Lavorne, and Jordan Douglas with a 2-run double. Haley Williams was able to work a walk as well. Dud was on at second. It's a 1-2 count here. It'll be a ground ball to third over to Gerard. Fires the first. A good pick at first by Lauren Coker for out number 3, but Southern Union grabs a 3-1 lead as we head to the bottom of the third here on JockJive. Southern Union with a strong top of the third inning. They have a 3-1 lead over Shelton State. Southern Union the number 6 seed, while Shelton State the number 4 seed coming into this year's tournament. Northwest Shoals eliminated, and so is Coastal Alabama South, the number 2 seed. Snead State, the number 3 seed, and Hansville currently facing off on field number 1. First pitch, ground ball to short, throw to first in time. 6-3 putout on one pitch. Here in the bottom of the third inning. As we go back to the top of the batting order after Caroline Hetlinski with a 6-3 putout. Emma Harrison with a single her first time up against Morgan Martin. We're back here with the bases empty. And first pitch, ground ball to third to Gibbons, and another first pitch out. 2 pitches, 2 outs, 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. As it brings up number 14, Heather Maxwell. Both teams attacking on the very first pitch to both of these aces for both Southern Union and Shelton State. Trinity Wilkerson moves to the on-dead circle. Maxwell with a fly out to left field her first time up back in the first inning. This pitch will miss downstairs. But only 13 wins during the regular season for Southern Union. But they are playing their best softball at the right time of the year. Right down the middle? No, downstairs. And it'll be ball 3 here to Maxwell. Played a couple base hits so far through the first 2 playoff appearances. That will miss downstairs. A 4-pitch walk here with 2 outs. Shelton State will bring up the game-tying run up to the plate. Wilkinson with an RBI double her last time up as she takes off her catcher's equipment. Southern Union went 10-9 at home this season, but they went 2-16 away from Southern Union, 1-5 in neutral site games. Bunt here by Wilkinson, and it'll be bunted off of her, and it'll be a foul ball. So this was something to worry about if you're a Southern Union fan, about how the team will play away from Southern Union, with just only 3 wins away, 3-21 on the road. Taking off for second. The throw is not in time. A stolen base for Maxwell. As this is the first meeting between Shelton State and Southern Union since March 12th. The first two games were at Shelton State on March 7th. Southern Union lost both of those games 2-1 and 13-5. As this will be a ground ball. Littleton with a nice diving play. Fires the first in time. What an outstanding play by Letzi Littleton. Out in the field, and we are going to the fourth. 3-1 Southern Union, the Bison in the lead. Three innings are in the books. Take a look at our breakdown so far. Southern Union 3 runs off of 4 hits, no errors. Shelton State 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. Southern Union scoring all their runs. And that top of the third, they're looking for more here against Brutz and Shelton State, as that pitch will be in for a strike. Anna Henson, Grace Walker, and Lindsay Littleton will lead things off here for the Bison. Facing on against Elizabeth back in for her 4th inning of work. But it was a 4-game split between Shelton State and Southern Union. The first 2 games belonging to Shelton State at home, winning 2-1 and 13-5 on March 7th. Then on March 12th, at home, Southern Union with 2 impressive wins, 11-0 victory and 7, and then a 5-4 victory on the 12th. And we'll see if she went around. She did. And that'll be for strike 3, a strikeout here for Elizabeth Brutz. As she able to strike out Anna Henson for out number 1. Grace Walker due up next. Ground out to short, her first time up. Now the runner has been phenomenal so far. This will be a 1-0 count here to Walker. Let's see, Littleton moves to the on-deck circle. So these two teams have not faced off since March. So it's been a good bit since these two teams met. And actually, it was Southern Union's first 4 games in conference play. They were swept by Wallace Hansel the next following week after coming away with a split against Shelton State. They lost 3 of 4 against Northwest Shoals. As this will be a chopper over to second. Roman over is Hedolinsky, and it's in and out of the glove of Lauren Coker at first, so safe at first base is going to be Grace Walker. And I'll go down as an error there, as that will bring up Letzi Littleton. We're running on first here with 1 out. And the pitch will be a ground ball here to Liner as she muffs it up, and it's going to be another base run here for Southern Union. First and second, first mistake we've seen from Liner out in the field. And Southern Union taking advantage of a couple of errors from the infield. And that will draw a visit on the circle from head coach Caitlin Griffin. As she'll talk things over with her infield. Runners at first and second here with 1 out. We'll step aside in just a moment after the visit on the circle. And the first pitch will miss upstairs. First and second here with one out. Southern Union trying to push the lead here against the Bucks. Here in this fourth inning, as that one will go downstairs. Back-to-back errors as Littleton was able to reach, and now it will be Erin Riley with a chance. She grounded out to short her first time up. Batting ninth as that will be in for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here in our fourth and final game here on field number 2 at Veterans Park. Been up bright and early since 9 o'clock this morning, as that'll be swung on and missed from Erin Riley. Pick off attempt at second, but it's going to get away from the shortstop going into the outfield, Grace Walker. It's safe at second. Littleton is on at first. Here with 1 out, the only out is an Anna Henson strikeout. Riley trying to battle here with 2 strikes. And she swings and misses. Actually a foul tip into the glove, but it will be a strikeout. Here for out number 2. And we are in the second inning in the Wallace-Hansel versus Snead State game. I believe Hansel's a home team, and it's a 2-1 lead in that game. So, winner of that game will remain in the winner's bracket. First pitch, a base hit to right field for Morgan Martin. They're going to send the runner home. The throw is not in time as Walker's in safely. Martin the second. She's safe. And Morgan Martin with another base hit. She is 3 for 3. And it'll be a 4-1 lead. Off the RBI base hit for Morgan Martin. A 4-1 lead, and just like that, Southern Union stayed with 4 unanswered runs. As Haley Williams will step in, walked her on her last plate appearance. Lexi Littleton is on at third. Morgan Martin on at second. 3 for 3 game for Morgan Martin as she is coming alive at the perfect time of the season. Here in the postseason, ground ball to liner, fires the first in time. Morgan Martin will extend the lead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth here in this elimination game between Southern Union and Shelton State. Back here for the bottom of the fourth. Morgan Martin with an RBI single to extend the lead. A 3-hit performance, and she is back on the circle. Trying to put up a 0 here against the heart of the lineup. For Shelton State, first pitch, fly to left field, drop in for a base hit. For Harley Johnson, the leadoff here in the fourth. Shelton State's been able to get their base hits against Morgan Martin, able to strike first. RBI double by Trinity Wilkinson in that first inning. But besides that, they've been held scoreless. They've hit into a couple of double plays. But right now they have a leadoff base runner with Aspen Gerard. Will foul off the first pitch. Lined out at first to the first baseman Lauren Coker, her first time up. And looks like actually we have a substitution at first now. for Southern Union. Was Coker at first, but we'll try to see what the number is. It looks like it's actually Gracie Walker over at first base. Right back to the pitcher. Fires a second for one. Throw to first is in. No, not in time. Almost a double play, but they'll get the force out at second after a quick reaction there from Morgan Martin. So Gracie Walker is still at first base for Southern Union. But Chelsea Hodsett throw to first almost in time, but it'll be a fielder's choice there to Gerard with Elena Span up next to bat. A single on her first at bat back in the second inning. First pitch takes no time, flies one to left, drops foul. Just out of reach of Jordan Douglas in left field. But the outfielders for Southern Union, Jordan Douglas in left, Aaron Riley in center, Haley Williams in right field. Gracie Walker at first, Letty Littleton at second, Chelsea Hodsett at short, Tania Gibbons at third base, and Anna Henson behind the plate with Morgan Martin on the circle. As this one's going to be hitting the gap into right center field, and this one's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases here for the Bucks. And the throw home will be cut off, but it doesn't matter. Runners at third and second after the double from Elena Span. Third and second here with one out. Shelton State has something cooking up here in the bottom of the fourth, down by 3 runs. And it will bring down number 11, Lauren Coker, who hit into a fielder's choice her last time up. Has a golden opportunity to get Shelton State back in this game against Morgan Martin and Southern Union. Shows bunt, draws it back, as Shelton State has been attacking on the very first pitch they see. Coker shows bunt again. She'll draw it back, and it's inside for ball 2. With number 8, Natalie Liner on deck. We have 3 fields currently in action right now. So that drops in for a strike. Field 1 and Field 2 that you're currently looking at are currently in Division 1 play, while on field number 5 we have Division 2. I believe in a winner's bracket games. That is in for a strike. Battling back in count is Morgan Martin. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Coker already. A couple of base hits. Grounds one to third. Nice pick play. Throw to first is wild. Gets away from Gracie Walker. This will score at least 1 run. And it's 4-2 off the air. It was a nice pick at third from Tania Gibbons, but a wild throw to Gracie Walker at first. And it's 4-2. The game time run is now in scoring position for the Bucks. As it brings up Natalie Liner, who lined out to third base her first time up. First pitch. Flies 1-2 right center field, and this one's going to be caught on the run by Aaron Riley. Both runners will tag up. It'll be an RBI sac fly for Natalie Liner, and it's 4-3. They are attacking the very first pitch. Morgan Martin throws. Out number 2 recorded here in the bottom of the fourth. 4-3. And apparently they threw it over to third or second, and apparently one of the runners left early. But the run does score, but out number 3 is recorded. We just were about to turn to the next batter, and then the call was made as the runner left early. So we're heading to the 5th inning in a 4-3 lead. And we now enter the 5th inning. So we had runners at third and second with 1 out. Aaron Riley made the catch in center field. Both runners tagged up. Liner will be traded with an RBI sat fly. Span came in to score. Lauren Coker apparently left early and was tagged out. The home plate umpire made sure that the run did score from third, so that one will count, but we will not continue in the bottom 4 to enter the top of the 5th. Juliana Lavorne, Jordan Douglas, and Tania Gibbons will lead things off here. As this one's going to be a base hit to right center field. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases here for Juliana Lavorne, and she's got a double to lead things off here for Southern Union. Jordan Douglas will come up next to bat with an excellent start here against Elizabeth Brooks for the Southern Union hitters. And we might be having a change on the circle here for Elizabeth Brooks. Had a strong start to this game against the Southern Union hitters, and then the offense started to compile hit after hit for Southern Union. They have scored 4 runs in the last 2 innings. They have a leadoff double to start. Change coming up, and it looks like they're bringing in Letzi Darnell, number 4, to the circle. We'll step aside here on JockJive as we have the warm-up pitches coming up here from Darnell. Welcome back here at the top of the 5th. Pitch and change on the circle for Shelton State, as they will be going to Letzi Darnell. In her first year with Shelton State, she has lived up to the hype. 6 wins and 5 losses during the regular season for Letzi Darnell, over 110 innings of work. In a season where she had a 3.88 ERA. Trying to come into this game and try to keep it a 1-run advantage. Wilkinson's looking over into the dugout. She'll call time. Jordan Douglas with a 2-run double was able to give Southern Union their first lead of this one. We do have a score update on field number 1 with Snead State and Wallace-Hansville. A 3-3 tie in the 3rd inning between Snead State and Wallace-Hansville. So that'll be in for a strike here to Douglas with Tania Gibbons on deck. A 1-for-2 game for Gibbons, but for Douglas, second on the team in home runs. It's been the Morgan Martin and Jordan Douglas show all season long in hitting with Loveborn, with a couple of excellent at-bats during the year. And it's actually 3-0. A leadoff double from Juliana Loveborn, a 2-hit performance for her with an RBI single, and a leadoff double here in this 5th inning. So that one finally connects for a strike. It'll be 3-1 here to the left fielder. As that was foul tip in the glove. Pick off attempt at second. That's going to be in and out of the glove and taking off her third, and she is safe. That's Juliana Woodbourne. It'll be a 3-2 count here to Douglas, and it makes Douglas's job a lot easier with Juliana Woodbourne on third. After taking advantage on the air. And Douglas flies one to deep right center field. It is gone. Jordan Douglas with a 2-run bomb to right center field, and Southern Union extends the lead 6-3 here in the top of the fifth. Still no outs here in the top of the fifth. Letzi Darnell gave up only 10 home runs in the Redwoods season. And Southern Union, with over 30 home runs as a team, they convert, and Douglas with a no-doubter to right center field. A 4 RBI game, as this will be a throw over from the third baseman, and now be in for out number 1 finally here in the top of the fifth. After a leadoff double from Woodbourne, Douglas with a 2-run blast. Gibbons grounds out and brings up Anna Henson. And Southern Union putting on a show here, and they're now 9 outs away from coming away with a victory as Henson fouls off the first pitch. A line out bat to Brooks in the second. That resulted in a double play and a strikeout in the 4th inning. But Jordan Douglas with a home run. So that changeup will drop in for a strike. Douglas had 11 home runs and 34 RBIs during the Redwoods season, and she now has her 12th behind Morgan Martin. So that one will miss outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Henson with just 1 out here in the top of the fifth. Southern Union has scored all 6 of their runs in the last 3 innings. Henson will pop this one up over to the right side of the infield, and that'll be caught from Lauren Coker at first base. Brings up Gracie Walker 0 for 2 with a ground out at short and able to reach off in E3. And Darnell's first pitch will be fouled out of play. Over to the right side, a couple fans had to keep an eye out for that foul ball as they're paying attention to Wallace, Hansville, and Snead State over on field number 1. And that game is still at a 3-3 tie. Comebacker Darnell juggles it, is able to make the catch for the final out. But a 2-run bomb off the bat of Jordan Douglas. We're heading to the bottom of the fifth. Southern Union with a 6-3 lead. Welcome back here to the bottom of the fifth inning. Morgan Martin has been spectacular so far, just allowing 3 runs during her first 4 innings of work. And they are hoping to ride her the rest of the way and send the Bison to the semifinals. as the playoff pitcher starting to take form here in Division I. As this will be in and out of the well, the pitch will be upstairs, as it will be Caroline Hekolinski, Emma Harrison, and Heather Maxwell to lead things off here for Shelton State. But the winner of this game will face off against the loser, I believe, the Snead State game. This will be drifting foul over to the left side. So I believe the loser of the Snead State and Hansville game will face off against either Shelton State or Southern Union in elimination game. And the winner of that one tomorrow will face off on Field 5, the big game in the championship, where either Wallace, Hansville, or Snead State will have the driver's seat and possibly will win the championship with just one win, as they will come into that championship game as undefeated. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Hekolinski. Puts down a bunt, but it's going to roll foul. It'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes here. A 6-3 ground out. On the last at bat for Hekolinski, as she taps this one to the third baseman, and no throw will be made, and Hekolinski with blazing speed is able to beat the throw. Another base hit here for Shelton State. As that will be Emma Harrison up next to bat with runner on first. As Shelton State looking for some base runners and trying to make a comeback here. Second time in this game, Southern Union has been up by 3 runs. They were up 4-1. Shelton State closed the gap to make it 4-3, and Southern Union with a 2-run blast from Jordan Douglas extends the lead back to a 3-run advantage, 6-3. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Harrison shows bunt, draws it back, grounds foul. Harrison with a single and a 6-3 putout so far on her first 2 plate appearances. It's a home plate umpire calling for more softballs. Heather Maxwell on deck. Swung on a miss for strike 2. Harrison had a bases clearing double against Coastal South. That put the icing on the cake for a huge victory for Shelton State. Coming away with a 7-4 victory. That pitch is going to be outside for ball number 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 5th. Swung on a miss, a strikeout here for Morgan Martin for out number 1 here in the 5th. Maxwell will step in, a fly out to left. Was walked on her last plate appearance and also had a stolen base as well into second. She's got a runner on first. Shows bunt, gets away, but it's going to be in for a strike. But it'll be an easy advancement for Caroline Hekolinski. And she'll advance to second on the wild pitch, but it is in for strike number 1 to Heather Maxwell. So far in this tournament, we have Northwest Shoals and Coastal South eliminated. Line drive. This one's going to be a foul ball down the right field line. And we have Wallace State, Snead State, Southern Union, and Shelton State still alive in this tournament. We will be down to 3 teams coming into tomorrow morning on Saturday for our possibly 3rd and final day here at Veterans Park at Alabaster for Division I. But if the winner of the game over on Field 1 does not come away with a victory in Game 1 and the championship game, they will play an if necessary game on Field number 5 at 10:30 in the morning on Sunday. as this one's lifted to right field, and there to make the catch is the right fielder, Haley Williams. No tag up, as it'll be in for out number 2. Now brings up Trinity Wilkinson here with 2 outs. RBI double and a 4-3 ground out. Harley Johnson on deck. Wilkinson. First pitch popped up, and this will go out of play. Over top of the press box. All the fields are right next to each other, so if foul ball goes out of play, it's going into the other fans' bleachers over in field number 1 or on field number 3. You know, field number 3 is not in use. But the championship games will be on field number 5. So this will be the final Division I game that we will have on field 1 and field 2. So all day tomorrow on Saturday and possibly Sunday, the final games of the tournament will be on field 5. Well, we'll have a couple more games in Division II to be played. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Wilkinson here in the bottom of the 5th. Field 2 will have at least maybe 1 game left in Division II play, maybe 2. So we'll have that on JockJive, so don't go anywhere. Line drive, base hit to left field. As they're going to send the runner home. No, they'll leave her at third. So runners on the corners here. Wilkinson with another base hit in this tournament. And the game-time run comes up to the plate here for Shelton State. Off the signal for Trinity Wilkinson, Harley Johnson with 1 swinging back and tie it up here. 1-for-2 game for Harley Johnson, a 4-3 put out and a single in the 4th inning. First pitch, ground ball, Littleton to first in time to end the threat as we head to the 6th inning, a 6-3 lead here for Southern Union. We'll be right back here on JockJive. Back here for the top of the 6th, 6-3 lead here for Southern Union. Couple of base runners on for Shelton State in that bottom of the 5th. Runners on the corners, left stranded. As Megan Martin doing a phenomenal job. And this one's sent to left field, and this one's going to drop in for a base hit. Littleton with a leadoff single to start off for the Bison. Morgan Martin, I beg your pardon, with phenomenal pitching through 5 innings, just allowing 3 runs. It's a 6-3 lead here for the Bison. Littleton with a single as Aaron Riley will step in here with a runner on first. We'll see if she'll lay down the bunt. 6-3 ground down and a strikeout so far. And first pitch slings it down the left field line. It'll be a foul ball. But just a beautiful day, a lot better weather than what we had yesterday here at the ballpark. We got through 1.5 games here on field number 2. Started late yesterday at 2 o'clock p.m. Also had weather in Oxford as well, but can't complain about the weather today. Nice breeze, beautiful day for some softball. Ground ball, there's 1 out. Throw at first, not in time, so it'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice to Aaron Riley for out number 1. And we go back to the top of the batting order here, and Morgan Martin, a 3-for-3 game with 2 singles and a triple. She has drove in 1 run so far. Over 60 hits during the regular season, and she comes out firing on the first one, swings or fouls off the first pitch. A 63 hit season for Morgan Martin in her first year. 19 doubles, 2 triples, 13 home runs, and has drove in 36 runs. Also has 11 stolen bases with a .453 batting average. Well, that one goes downstairs, and in safely is Riley with a stolen base. Southern Union with 68 stolen bases on the year. And they've had a couple of stolen bases so far here in this crucial game. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Morgan Martin. Haley Williams on deck. That one's going to sail upstairs, 2-1. An infield single in the first inning, a triple in the third, RBI single, and the fourth inning was able to advance the second as well. And that changeup drops in. Nasty pitch there from Letzi Darnell. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Southern Union trying to drive in as many runs as possible and stretch the lead here against Shelton State. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball here to Liner. The eyeball going to third. Throw to first is in time. Good thing Liner did not hesitate anymore or took longer trying to decide where to throw it at because Martin was very close to taking first base, but that'll be out number 2 here in the top of the 6th. First time in this game, Morgan Martin has been retired. It'll be a strikeout here to Haley Williams, a walk, and a ground out at short. So far in her 2 plate appearances, she got a runner on at third here with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And that is going to be in for strike number 2. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2, with Juliana Loveborn on deck, who is 2 for 2 with an RBI single and a double. That'll sail upstairs. Williams playing in right field today has had to make some nice catches over and right. As this one's going to be sent into left center field, and that'll be caught by Elena Span in center field. Leaves a runner stranded at third. 6-3 lead here for Southern Union. Bottom of the 6th inning, Southern Union with a 6-3 advantage. It will be Aspen Gerard, Elena Span, and Lauren Coker to lead things off for Shelton State. With 6 outs to work with, down by 3 runs, Southern Union 6 outs away from coming away with another victory in an elimination game. They defeated Northwest Shoals by a final score of 9-7 over on field number 1 pretty much an hour ago. We started this game just an hour and 18 minutes ago. So that one's going to drop in. Nasty pitch there from Morgan Martin. Back in for her 6th inning of work. She's been able to pitch through 5 innings. Also a tough start, allowing the first run of the game, but has quickly settled in. And that one's going to drop downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Aspen with a line out at first. Hit into a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. She'll bat here with a 2-1 count. Bat to Martin. Fires over to first for out number 1. As it brings up a land span. 2 for 2 so far with a single and a double. As she'll step in here with 1 out, bases empty. But we'll have a full dose of Division II softball tomorrow on field number 2. As this one's going to be sent to right field. Backing up is Williams. She's there to make the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. And right now the Bison just love retiring batter after batter without giving up any base runners. It is a 5-3 lead for Hanceville in the 5th inning. So that game coming to its conclusion as well, as that one will miss upstairs for ball 1 to Lauren Coker, who was able to reach off a fielder's choice and also reach off an E5 from Tania Gibbons over at third. Shows bunt. And the pitch will be inside for ball 2. A 2-0 count here with 2 outs. With Natalie Liner on deck. Ground ball. This one's going to sneak in, or almost a base hit, but what a scoop at first. Hard to see over at the third base bag, but it's going to be a 3-up, 3-down inning. And we head to the 7th in a 6-3 game. Nice play there by Tania Gibbons to Gracie Walker. Third, the first diving play, able to get Lauren Coker. We head to the 7th. Southern Union up by 3. Sits 3 Southern Union as we take a look at our scoreboard. First pitch will be delivered in for a strike from Lexi Darnell. Juliana Lavorne, Jordan Douglas, and Tania Gibbons the last chance for Southern Union to tag on some insurance runs here against the Bucks. And this is going to be a fly ball to deep left field, and this one will be grabbed and left by Heather Maxwell for a long out number 1. Lavorne was able to come away with 2 base hits in this game. Jordan Douglas due up next, and she has had herself an afternoon. A 2-run double in the 3rd inning, a 2-run blast in the 5th inning. She'll back here with the bases empty here with 1 out as she took Lexi Darnell out of the ballpark. That first pitch will miss outside for ball number 1. 11 home runs during the regular season. And it's been Megan Martin and Jordan Douglas getting the job done in the batter's box. Julian Lavorne's also had a great game. But it's been a group effort in this one in the batter's box for Southern Union. Their pitching staff with Morgan Martin doing their part as well. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Douglas. As Douglas flies 1, 2, right field. That one's gone. Another home run for Jordan Douglas, a solo shot home run, and it's 7-3 Southern Union. Jordan Douglas with her second home run of the game. And the Bison have their largest lead of the game, 4 runs, 7-3 as they try to keep their season alive. As it brings up to Nia Gibbons, number 9, a 1-for-3 game with a single and 2 ground outs at third. Well, how about Jordan Douglas with her second home run off of Lexi Darnell? And that's a huge insurance run for Southern Union. And Gibbons fouls this one off the fence. What a fly ball. That one went up against the hill. Well hit. We don't know how many home runs Jordan Douglas has so far during this postseason, but she's got 2 home runs in this game off of Lexi Darnell. Chopper to second to Heckelinsky, fires the first in time for out number 2. The last chance for Shelton State, unless we have pinch hitters, it'll be Natalie Liner, Caroline Heckelinsky, and Emma Harrison trying to save their season. Hitters 8, 9, and 1. Down by 4 now after the solo shot home run from Jordan Douglas. Swung on a miss on the first pitch from Anna Henson. Starting in now with a flyout from Loveborn to left. Jordan Douglas with a solo shot home run, her second of the game. And Tania Gibbons, as this one's popped up in the air and over to make the catch is Lauren Coker to retire the side. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Shelton State down to their final 3 outs here on JockJive. Can they keep their season alive, or will Southern Union move on to the semifinals? We are back here for the bottom of the 7th. Shelton State season on the line here. Down by 4 runs with 3 outs to work with. They got to deal with Morgan Martin for a 7th straight inning. There is no one warming up in the bullpen, so this will be Morgan Martin's inning. Natalie Liner, Caroline Heckelinsky, and Emma Harrison to lead things off. First pitch popped up in the air. Will this stay in play? It will go outside of the dugout, and it'll be a long strike number 1. There to Natalie Liner. It was just outside of our visual point here from the press spots. But Liner's able to catch another life here. RBI sat fly for Natalie Liner. That was the last run scored by Shelton State. They had both runners from third and second tagged up. Fortunately, the runner from second left a little bit earlier than expected when Aaron Riley made the catch into right center field. I believe that was Coker taking off to third. Left too early, called out, but the run did come in the score that made it 4-3, but Southern Union able to tag in 3 insurance runs. That pitch will miss upstairs, 2-1. Heckelinsky is on deck, a 1-for-2 game. Shelton State lost the first game of this postseason tournament to number 5 seed Northwest Shoals. As this one is going to be off the glove of Tania Gibbons. And it's going to be a leadoff base runner here for Shelton State. A well-hit ball and now results in a base hit. And a nice start to this inning here. Hector Linsky will step in. Coastal South fell to Shelton State in the last game before we have this one. Bunted down the left field line, foul. It was a 7-4 victory for Shelton State over Coastal South to keep the season alive. And now they trail by 4 runs. Seems like 4 runs is a common deficit for most teams going into the 7th inning. As this one is going to be a fly ball to left center field. Coming in to make the catch is Riley for out number 1. Northwest Shoals was down 9-5 in the first game against Shelton State in the 7th. They came back to tie it and ended up winning game 11-9. Coastal South was down by 4 runs, 7-3. In the top of the 7th, they were only able to score 1 run off an RBI sat fly. And now Shelton State down by 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to keep their season alive. Busy day here on field number 2. Started bright and early at 9 o'clock. As this one's going to be popped up over to the right side. And this one will be a foul ball. Finished up the Northwest Shoals versus Wallace Hansfield game, which ended in an 11-2 victory for the Lions. We turned our attention to Bevel State and Bishop State, a 2-1 victory for the Bears. They were eventually eliminated just a couple moments ago. And then Shelton State with a victory against Coastal South. Ground ball to short. This could do it. There's one. A throw to first, not in time. It'll be an out at second, and Shelton State down to their final out here in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be a fielder's choice here as Emma Harrison represents the final hope for Shelton State. Down by 4 with 1 out to work with, runner on at first. Natalie Liner with a single. And actually, Heather Maxwell last chance after the fielder's choice from Emma Harrison. Maxwell in the batter's box. As that'll be in for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trinity Wilkinson is on deck. Southern Union will face off against the loser of the Snead State and Wallace Hansfield game currently going on field number 1. If they're able to hang on. So that one will be upstairs 2-1. With Southern Union coming in as a number 6 seed, is 1 out away from being one of the final 3 teams in this year's tournament. And that one's inside, gets away from the catcher, an easy advancement there, but it's going to be a walk. Where actually Maxwell was hit by the pitch, apparently, and that will result in runners at first and second here with 2 outs. As Wilkinson will step in. 2-hit performance, a double, which drove in a run, a single in the 5th, and a 4-3 ground out, trying to keep the game alive for her Bucks. And she will fly one to left center field. Riley's there to make the catch. And Southern Union State is going to the semifinals with a 7-3 victory over Shelton State. The Buccaneers season will come to an end, and Shelton State will lose this one 7-3 as we take a look at the final numbers in this one as the 2 teams will meet at the circle. Southern Union State will face off against the loser of the Wallace Hansfield versus Snead State game on field 1. So tune into that game on field number 1 on JockJive.com. Southern Union 7 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error, while Shelton State with 3 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. Southern Union State with an impressive 7-3 victory. They trailed 1-0 early on, and then they were able to get their offense going. Jordan Douglas with a 2-home run performance. 5 RBIs for the left fielder, number 25, Douglas. And Morgan Martin with a 3-hit performance also drove in a run, and phenomenal on the hill as well. Southern Union wins 7-3 on Dallas Lindsay. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow on field number 2 as we enter day number 3 of the tournaments in Division II and Division I. But for now, have a good night, everyone. Southern Union wins it 7-3.